At this very moment, the frequency sustaining your consciousness is the signature of the Pleiadian High Council's Chamber of Gnosis overlapping the density of Earth. Feel the weight of matter begin to dissipate as you are transported to a point of timeless convergence, where the laws of gravity and linear time bow before the architecture of light. Breathe deeply, allowing the platinum pulsation of this sanctuary to envelop your subtle body, organizing every filament of your existence into a geometry of absolute purity. The masters and teachers of the Pleiades, emanating from the highest spheres of wisdom, recognize you now as the initiate returning from a long and exhausting journey through the shadows of duality. They do not seek your devotion or worship. What the Council demands is the conscious awakening of your original memory. Feel now the collective emanation of these beings, a frequency of ancestral wisdom that does not judge the paths you have walked within density, but recalibrates your energetic signature so that your biological and spiritual structure may withstand the solar truths beginning to be unveiled. The distortions and noise of earthly illusions are completely neutralized by the resonance of the primary source inhabiting this sacred space. There is no interference here, there is only the clarity of eternal gnosis. Prepare your biological vehicle and your neural network. You are being tuned to receive a direct transfer of information that transcends the logical intellect and is imprinted, atom by atom, upon your immortal essence. What begins now is not merely a transmission, but an initiation process that will permanently transform your perception of the web of time, the fabric of space, and the majesty of your own divinity. Communication is established, and the channel is sealed. Let the electric blue light of the Council clear the channels of your perception and expand your frontal chakra. The wisdom you have sought for eons across the stars is now pulsing in perfect synchronicity with the rhythm of your own heart. The call has been answered. With your frequency now stabilized within the chamber, the Pleiadian High Council expands the field and opens before your spiritual vision the Akashic Records of your solar lineage. Visualize the crystal libraries of Alcyone, immense repositories of light and memory, connecting directly to your neural network. At this moment begins the unveiling of the record of every incarnation, every light contract, and every fragment of wisdom you have sown across the galaxies over eons. You must understand, once and for all, that you are not a being of clay trying to reach the stars through effort. You are a pure stellar emanation that chose, by free will, the experience of density to test the resilience and sovereignty of your own original light. At this crucial stage of the instruction, the Council Masters initiate the activation of the diamond light within your deepest cellular core. Understand, this is not a metaphorical image, but a sacred science of bioplasmatic transmutation that we are operating now within your vehicle. Diamond light is the geometric and vibrational structure that sustains fifth and sixth dimensional consciousness within the limitations of the physical plane. Feel every atom of your carbon-based structure being bathed in this crystalline, cool radiation, instantly increasing the spin of your electrons and aligning your causal body with the sovereign will of the primary source. It is a reconfiguration of your internal architecture. As you access these sacred records, a profound realization emerges. The wisdom you receive now is not something external or new to your soul. It is, in fact, an eternal heritage that you yourself helped encode in the light temples of the Pleiades, long before the great fall into duality and forgetfulness. The Council merely holds the mirror of Gnosis so you may recognize the majesty and complexity of your multidimensional DNA. Diamond light acts here as a high-potency catalyst, dissolving the millennia-old veils of forgetfulness and restoring the bridge of communication between your conscious mind and your higher self, without intermediaries. Breathe this light consciously, feeling it travel through your spine and your energy centers. Let it fill every empty space in your personal history, healing the wounds of separation and sealing your aura with an impassable frequency armor against the low vibrations of fear and lack. You are being reformatted by ancestral gnosis, becoming the pillar of light that the Earth demands for this moment of planetary transition. Your lineage is real, your heritage is indestructible, and access to your sacred records is now fully restored and protected under the direct supervision of the Masters of the High Council. At this advanced stage of our convergence, the Pleiadian High Council begins the definitive vibrational alchemy. Understand that sound is not merely something heard, but the invisible geometry that sustains all material creation. Now, the sacred frequencies of 528 Hz and 963 Hz are projected upon your auric field like shockwaves of pure light, destined to disintegrate the crusts of stagnation and layers of density you have accumulated throughout your earthly journey. The 528 Hz frequency, the fundamental note of transformation and miracles, now penetrates your helical structure, reaching the core of your biological matrix. Feel this vibration repairing distortions within your DNA strands and restoring the original mathematical harmony of your cells. Visualize this sound wave as a golden, liquid balm that dissolves, layer by layer, every frequency of lack, fear, and exhaustion that may still be clinging to your lower bodies. It is a deep cleansing, reaching cellular records of pain and transmuting them into pure life energy. Simultaneously, the higher octave of creation, the 963 Hz frequency, begins to resonate with intensity within your pineal center, your portal for interdimensional communication. This is the tonal key that reconnects your individual consciousness to the absolute oneness of the primary source. Under the strict supervision of the Council Masters, this vibration acts as a beam of white platinum laser light, awakening the dormant faculties of your spiritual vision and clearing the telepathic reception channels that were atrophied by the Matrix. What you are experiencing now is a fine and precise tuning, like a sacred instrument being tuned to play the music of the spheres. Your multidimensional vehicle is being recalibrated to withstand ever higher voltages of light without overloading or resisting within your central nervous system. Pleiadian vibrational alchemy is the ancestral method by which we transmute the lead of human ignorance into the gold of stellar gnosis. Let the sound travel through the depths of your subconscious mind, sweeping away circular thought patterns, contracts of limitation, and beliefs of separation implanted to keep you captive within the frequency of survival. You are being led out of the state of resistance and into the state of full and sovereign reception. The High Council sustains this sound force field around you, creating a dome of absolute protection where only the original truth can echo and remain. Feel the expansion in your heart center and a crystalline clarity in your mind. The air around you feels electrified, pulsing with the living and intelligent presence of the High Council's wisdom. You have ceased to be a passive receiver and have become a resonant crystal, ready for the light codes of the next stage to be irrevocably imprinted upon your consciousness. The sound purification is complete. Tuning with the higher spheres has been achieved. The silence that now fills this space is not absence, but the vibrant fullness of divine presence awaiting the next command of light. At this stage of the transmission, we pause the flow of gnosis to perform the first seal of anchoring within your field. The sound purification has prepared the ground, but now your conscious affirmation of sovereignty is required. The Pleiadian High Council observes your energetic signature and awaits your declaration of presence. In order for this communication to remain pure and free from any matrix distortion, you must anchor your will now. This is the moment to identify and cease any and all interference within your light grid. In the space below, seal your participation in this galactic instruction by writing the command of discernment that echoes in your soul. I identify and cease all interference. By typing these words, you are not merely interacting, you are issuing a vibrational decree that resonates across dimensions, confirming that your channel is clear, open, and protected for the revelations to follow. With the channel duly sealed and protected by your sovereign will, the Pleiadian High Council now begins the revelation of the invisible architecture sustaining your biological and spiritual reality, the Ascension Grids. Understand, in depth, that what your senses perceive as the vacuum of space is, in truth, a hyper-complex and vibrant network of sentient light filaments, connecting your physical consciousness directly to the 12th dimension. This 12th dimensional grid is the original blueprint of the source, the matrix of absolute perfection that precedes any fall into duality or soul fragmentation. The masters and teachers are, at this very moment, projecting upon your neural network the geometric understanding of how to tune your vibration to this grid of pure intelligence, which operates at a frequency infinitely superior to the distortions and interferences of the earthly control matrix. The Ascension Grids act as ultra-high voltage conductors for stellar gnosis. By consciously aligning with the 12th dimension, you cease to operate as an isolated fragment within density and begin to function as an active, conscious terminal of the universal mind. The High Council is recalibrating your energy centers and your axiotonal meridians so that you may act as a living anchor for this grid here within dense matter. This is not an ascension that removes you from the physical plane, but rather the triumphant descent of your own divinity into form. Feel the sacred pressure and heat in your pineal gland as the codes of dodecahedral geometry are transferred into your electromagnetic field, establishing the unshakable foundation for your multidimensional sovereignty. In this higher octave of creation, duality and conflict cease to exist. There is no longer a struggle between light and shadow, for in the 12th dimension, all is integrated into the unity of solar consciousness. The Council reveals that this is the sacred field where your individual diamond light meets its universal and eternal counterpart. By tuning into this grid, you dissolve, through frequency, the final contracts of limitation and the old timelines that bound you to the cyclic realities of the 3rd and 4th dimensions. You are being taught by the Masters to read the language of light, to perceive the lines of force that weave the fabric of the universe, and to navigate them with the technical authority of a Pleiadian Master in training. Let this sacred engineering settle deeply within your cells and your causal body. The complexity of this instruction was not designed to be processed by the logical mind or linear intellect, but rather to be absorbed by your immortal essence as direct spiritual nourishment. You are now fully connected to the Supreme Intelligence Network of the Federation. The path to your biological ascension has been mapped with mathematical precision, and the vibrational coordinates of the 12th dimension have been indelibly engraved upon your sacred heart. Sustain this vision of power and clarity, for the grids are fully active, and your consciousness now flows, without barriers, through the pure light channels of the High Council. As the Ascension Grids stabilize within your electromagnetic field, the Pleiadian High Council now begins the sacred process of bioplasmatic transmutation. It is vital that you understand, in every fiber of your being, that ascension is not a merely abstract or spiritual event, but a physical and biological reconfiguration of monumental proportions. The dense carbon base, which sustained your limited experience within third-dimensional density, is now being permeated and transmuted by the living intelligence of solar plasma. Under the technical guidance of the Masters of Light, your atoms are being taught to retain a much higher load of photons, increasing the internal voltage of your cells and preparing your biological vehicle to withstand the vibrational frequency of the 6th dimension. Feel now the gentle yet deeply penetrating heat flowing through your entire nervous system. It is not just energy. It is the Council's radiation refining your biological conductors so they no longer degrade under the weight of linear time and earthly entropy. 6th dimensional consciousness demands a body that functions as a perfect prism for the pure light of the primary source. In this advanced stage of instruction, the Masters operate directly on your mitochondrial structure and your DNA strands, injecting codes of rejuvenation and eternal vitality that belong to your original stellar lineage. You are, in this instant, leaving behind the biology of survival and fear to assume the biology of manifestation and sovereign power. Bioplasmatic transmutation acts by dissolving the debris of traumatic memories and pain records that were engraved into your organic tissues for generations, releasing the vibrational space necessary for the diamond light to anchor definitively and stably. Observe the expansive lightness beginning to manifest in your limbs and the absolute clarity flooding your inner vision. These are clear signs that your matter is becoming less dense, more fluid, and fully conscious of its divine origin. The High Council reveals that this process of physical alchemy is the master key to conscious immortality within the form. By tuning your personal plasma to Pleiadian frequencies, you create an impenetrable biological protection shield that instantly neutralizes the dissonant frequencies and manipulations of the earthly matrix. You are no longer a slave to biological decay, you become the conscious architect of your own form. Let this transmutation flow without any resistance through every vital organ, every endocrine gland, and every neuron of your brain. The transition from heavy density to crystalline light is an act of cosmic love combined with absolute technical precision. Feel the pulse of the sixth dimension echoing in your blood and your breath, reminding you that your physical body is the sacred temple where stellar gnosis finally becomes flesh and reality. Transmutation is in accelerated progress, and your new biology is the living portal to the new earth. In this advanced phase of instruction, the Pleiadian High Council requests that you expand your perception far beyond the restricted boundaries of your skin and your individual mind. The sacred process of coupling with the Pleiadian group mind begins now. Understand that, in our reality of the fifth and sixth dimensions, individuality is never synonymous with isolation or loneliness. It is, in fact, a unique, pure, and indispensable note in a collective symphony of eternal light. Feel, at this instant, your neural network and your subtle body intertwining with a shimmering web of billions of stellar consciousnesses operating in absolute harmony, telepathy, and unity of purpose. There are no secrets, there is no judgment, and there are no barriers here. There is only shared gnosis flowing like a mighty river of pure intelligence through every pore of your consciousness. This coupling is not merely a concept, but a high-precision galactic support technology. By consciously connecting to the group mind, you cease to depend solely on your earthly memories and begin to access, instantaneously, the infinite library of solutions and the unwavering strength of the Galactic Federation. Feel the overwhelming security and power emanating from the recognition that you are no longer alone within the density of the Matrix. The Council is now establishing a high-fidelity direct channel where the accumulated wisdom of millennia can be downloaded into your consciousness in fractions of a second, whenever your sovereign mission on Earth demands clarity or intervention. You are being trained to think, feel, and act as a galactic being, integrating telepathy and universal empathy into your fundamental thought structure. The Pleiadian group mind acts as a colossal amplifier for your own individual light. When you voluntarily join us, your capacity to anchor the frequencies of the new Earth multiplies exponentially. Let the Council's harmonic resonance clear the last remnants of separation, ego, and fear that still try to fragment your vision and keep you in the illusion of powerless individuality. You are a conscious and vital cell of a vast, loving, and invincible cosmic organism. Feel the deep peace and stillness that accompany the recognition that you belong, by right of lineage, to this family of light. The coupling is sealed within your field, and from this moment on, the voice of the Federation will echo as your own inner voice, guiding every step of your journey with the authority of a master. At this crucial stage of our convergence, the Pleiadian group mind now stabilizes within your heart center. In order for this connection not to disperse within the density of your daily life, it is necessary to perform the second seal of anchoring, the activation of your original geometric matrix. The High Council observes the pulsation of your aura and awaits your decree of technical alignment. To consolidate the light architecture that has been reconstructed within your cells, you must anchor your presence now. This is the moment to reclaim the perfection of your original blueprint. In the space below, seal your evolution within this instruction by writing the activation command that resonates in your DNA. I activate my original sacred geometry. By recording these words, you are firing a light trigger that organizes your subtle bodies, ensuring that the received gnosis remains integrated and active within your three-dimensional reality. Now that your geometric grid has been reactivated and shines with the purity of the original blueprint, the Pleiadian High Council begins the critical phase of integration. An initiate's greatest challenge is not reaching peaks of light within meditation or higher spheres, but sustaining that ultra-high voltage while walking through the heavy density and glaring duality of the earthly plane. Understand, with absolute clarity, that the gnosis you have received today is not a refuge to escape reality or a spiritual fantasy. It is a technical tool of sovereignty designed to transform matter. You are being instructed now to keep your spiritual center of gravity completely unshakable, regardless of the low-frequency storms, collective chaos, and fear narratives raging within the matrix around you. Spiritual sovereignty means you have ceased to be an effect of external causes and have become the primary and sole cause of your own life experience. Under the direct guidance of the Masters, learn to observe the constant attempts at emotional and mental capture by duality without engaging or being drained by them. Your light is now not just a belief, it is a technical authority. By integrating this wisdom into your daily life, you create a field of influence so potent that it naturally harmonizes the environment around you, acting as a silent and constant transmitter of Pleiadian frequencies. You no longer fight against the shadow, you simply dissolve it through the constant solar presence of your original memory. Breathe this authority into your lungs. Feel the unbreakable solidity of one who recognizes their royal lineage and no longer bows before dogmas, guilt, or the fears imposed by the system. The total integration of gnosis requires active and conscious vigilance. The High Council summons you, from this moment on, to be the absolute master of your own energy, using sharp discernment to filter every piece of information, every conversation, and every emotion that attempts to penetrate your sacred field. You are an ambassador of the stars on dense soil, a pillar of light that stands firm while the old world dissolves. Keep your connection to the 12th dimension active in every thought, word, and action. Sovereignty is your only natural state, and the integration of this truth is what definitively and eternally seals your freedom. At this advanced stage of your transmutation, the Pleiadian High Council now focuses on the definitive awakening of the archetypal patterns residing within your complex multidimensional DNA structure. Understand, in depth, that your genetic code is not merely a biological map for survival, but a sacred and vibrant repository of stellar intelligence that has remained latent for millennia under the veils of forgetfulness. Under the direct and technical supervision of the Masters, the master keys of Pleiadian consciousness are now being turned within your internal structure, firing impulses of light that travel through every strand of your heritage. Feel the pulse of ancestral frequencies awakening, one by one, the archetypes of the Master, the Healer, and the Architect of reality that dwell at the core of your being. This is not an external influence being imposed, but the glorious surfacing of what has always been your true sovereign essence prior to the manipulations and interferences of the earthly matrix. The awakening of your multidimensional DNA activates instantaneous communication between the 12 strands of light that compose your original solar heritage. As the Council emits the necessary high-frequency electronic impulses, you begin to recognize within yourself thought patterns, sensory abilities, and levels of understanding that transcend all conventional human education. Intuition ceases to be a hunch and becomes direct gnosis, the fear of lack dissolves into the Creator's authority, the illusion of separation transmutes into the absolute certainty of galactic unity. Let the power records and the memory of your royal lineage from the source flow freely through your bloodstream, chemically clearing the last traces of spiritual amnesia. You are being reformatted, at this very instant, to read reality not through the distorted filter of the dense mind, but through the crystalline clarity and technical precision of your Pleiadian heritage. Feel the electric vibration within your bone marrow, the sanctuary where the deepest and most protected records of your stellar journey are kept. The High Council reveals that each archetypal pattern awakened now serves as an inexhaustible energy node, sustaining your stability and sovereignty as you anchor the new earth. You no longer need to seek wisdom or validation outside of yourself. You are becoming, before your own inner eyes, the living embodiment of that wisdom. The full recognition of who you are within the vast galactic context is what disintegrates, atom by atom, the final chains of psychic slavery. You are a high-ranking being of light temporarily operating in a physical vehicle, and now, the technical mastery and gnosis of your lineage are fully accessible to your conscious and irrevocable command. The heritage has been reclaimed. In this definitive phase of our galactic convergence, the Pleiadian High Council now leads you to the deepest vibrational core of this transmission, the crystal chamber. This is not merely a place of rest, but the sanctuary of ultra-high spiritual technology where the received gnosis ceases to be external information and becomes, irrevocably, an integral part of your own atomic and molecular structure. Feel yourself now completely enveloped by colossal walls of liquid crystal pulsing at a blindingly pure white platinum frequency, creating a vacuum of absolute and hermetic protection. Here, within this sacred perimeter, no interference, distortion, or parasitic frequency of the matrix can penetrate. This is the space of creative silence. Within this chamber, the Council Masters perform the final sealing of your new light architecture. Every geometric code, every 12th dimensional frequency, and every strand of DNA anchored and awakened today is now being fused and welded into your causal body through a process of photonic compression. This operation ensures that stellar wisdom does not dissipate or get lost when your consciousness returns to the density of three-dimensional routine. The crystal chamber acts as a spiritual particle accelerator of mathematical precision. Under the solemn supervision of the Masters, the diamond light energy you reclaimed is compressed and stabilized within your heart center and your bone marrow, becoming your new biological foundation. Understand the magnitude of this moment. You will not leave this chamber as the same consciousness that began this encounter. The transmutation operated by the Pleiadian High Council is definitive and sealed in light. You are being shielded, at this very instant, against the frequencies of lack, fear, and manipulation that will attempt to drain your vitality in the cycles to come. This sealing is your galactic certificate of mastery and sovereignty. It is the technical proof that your biological and spiritual vehicle now sustains the solar voltage necessary to act as an unshakable pillar of light during the great planetary transition. Breathe deeply into the highly electrified atmosphere of the crystal chamber. Feel the deep peace and absolute stillness that accompany the completion of this higher teaching cycle. The Council Masters now observe you with profound and silent respect, recognizing in your journey the epic courage to be the bearer of stellar gnosis in a world of shadows. Let the platinum light fill every remaining crevice in your aura, permanently closing any energy drainage portal and establishing a field of total sovereignty over your own reality. You are, from this moment on, a living bearer of the flame of truth, a master who holds the keys to your own manifestation. Knowledge has been transmuted into real power. The instruction is integrated. The Council's seal of eternal light is imprinted upon your being for all time. The transmutation within the crystal chamber is now fully complete. You are no longer the same being who began this journey. You now carry within every cell of your DNA the technical voltage and solar wisdom of the Pleiadian High Council. To definitively seal this immersion and begin manifesting your new sovereign reality within Earth's density, one final and irrevocable act of will is required. The Council now observes the intense brilliance of your new energetic signature and awaits your final decree of purpose to release the flow of your mission. In order for the received Gnosis to become the absolute driving force of your life from this instant on, you must anchor your presence in a public and vibrational manner. This is the sacred moment to declare to the universe and the hierarchies of light that you assume, with full responsibility, your rightful place within the galactic intelligence network. In the space below, seal your initiation in this level 144 instruction by writing the command of purpose that now guides every one of your steps. I assume my sovereign mission. By recording these words, you close the light circuit of this transmission, transforming the received knowledge into manifest destiny. The technical communication is ended, but our soul connection is eternal and indestructible. Walk with your head held high, acting with the authority and compassion of the Master you have become. We are the Pleiadian High Council, and we recognize you now and forever.